Hi, this is Julie Hart from Hart Media Group. Welcome to What I Pretend to Know. What I Pretend to Know is about learning from those who truly do, celebrating the power of female connection, and finding inspiration in the shared experiences of women. Do you ever feel like you have a whole closet full of clothes with nothing to wear? I would love to help you refresh your wardrobe. Go see Michelle at District 23 Boutique, where fashion meets fun, purpose, and your perfect palette. They carry women's clothes, shoes, accessories, and gifts, and they offer one-on-one color analysis and styling sessions to help you look and feel your best. Plus, every purchase supports cochlear implant recipients around the world. Visit them in Springfield or online at district23.com. District 23, where fashion meets fun, purpose, and your perfect palette. Good morning. Welcome to What I Pretend to Know. This is Julie Hart with Hart Media Group. I'm so glad you're here this morning. I have a very special guest with me, Miss Emily Killibrew. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
A lot of times I've brought on people that I've known for a long time. Emily, I have not. However, we're sitting here talking and we have 50 million connections.
Such a small world.
Yeah, because it's a small world. I think Springfield, you're connected to everybody. And one of which the ways that we're connected is she went to high school with my little sister. Do you remember that?
Yes.
By the way, Sarah says hello.
Yes.
So I talked to her this morning and I said I was going to have a podcast with Emily. And she goes, oh, tell Emily I said hello.
Oh, I love her.
And so, yeah, so we connected that when I started teaching her children a couple of years ago. So I was Ellie's fifth grade language
that
arts
was your
teacher.
first year.
That was my first year teaching at SCS.
Yeah.
And then I had Case last year, and I may get him again this year for one of the classes. So I'm pretty excited about him. And I may or may not have fallen in love with Case. Not that I didn't love Ellie, because I did, because she's pretty lovable too. But Case and I feel like Case and I kind of have a special connection.
Yes, I agree.
So I am excited to have Emily because she is multifaceted and just has a broad range of ideas and thoughts to bring us, and so I'm excited about that. So welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. So Emily is a local Springfield girl, and I want you to first tell us your story, where you're from, what your story is, and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so I did. I grew up in Springfield. I've been here my whole life. I went to Springfield Christian also, so I went there kindergarten through 8th grade. And then when I graduated, I went to Springfield High. I went to Western in Macomb. That's where I did my undergrad. And then I went to Edwardsville for grad school. So I'm actually a speech-language pathologist by education. I worked for Memorial for the last probably 18 years. And then about a year and a half ago, Kyle and I decided that I would kind of transition from working as a speech pathologist and kind of help out in his office there. So now I'm over there helping Kyle.
See, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that you haven't been with Kyle that long.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess off and on when I've helped him over the years, but yeah, I've done speech forever. It's kind of new.
Do you miss speech?
Yeah, I do. I miss parts of it for sure. I had such great people that I worked with and such great families. So I'll always keep it. I don't know that I am gone forever, but in this season of life, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be with some of the projects that Kyle and I have going on with. We have like a retirement 55 and older community that we built this past year, which was kind of the main reason why I left, so that I can kind of help manage that and work through that. So, yeah.
I have to say, so I went to Judson for 2 years, which is a Baptist college up in Elgin, Illinois, and then I went to Eastern for 2 and a half years. And my roommate at Eastern was speech path.
Oh, really?
I have never seen such difficult material in my life. I will be honest. And, and I'm elementary ed, and, Eastern was a great competitive school when it came to elementary ed. So I loved everything that I learned. But I have never seen someone study so much, and I have never seen such difficult content as
It's
speech
so hard.
language.
It's like you're a freshman in college, and it's like, let's do neuroanatomy. And you're like, oh.
And just how she would have to learn the positions of the tongue and stuff.
It's wild.
It
is wild.
Wild. I couldn't believe it. And I'm still friends with her to this day. She lives in Naples, Florida. She has identical triplets, which was a 1 in 200 million chance. She has identical triplets, but she she was speech path, and kudos to you.
Yes. So I'll keep that forever. I mean, you work hard to do that.
Did you do older people?
I've always been pediatric.
Oh, you did pediatric.
So I was in the school district for probably about 8 years, but I've always worked at the hospital both.
Okay.
So I did school district and hospital for a while, and then once I had the kids, I was then just at the hospital.
Okay. So
yeah.
I've noticed, just because I follow you on some social media platforms, that you have a knack for design.
Yes, I love it.
So her husband, obviously, Kyle Kilibrew, Kilibru Real Estate.
Yes.
And did he start that from ground?
Yeah. So he got his license, I guess, we got married in 2004, and so he had just gotten his license like the beginning of that year. So he's been selling real estate a little over 20 years, 21, 22 years. And just started he's from Greenview, Illinois, so kind of from a small town.
You were
He's not
babies
from
when
here.
you got married.
Yeah, we were like 21.
Yeah,
21,
because
22.
I got married in 01.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
we got married pretty young. Yeah, I think he had just turned 22. So, yeah, we've been married for 21 years, which is kind of a long time for our ages, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so he started selling real estate then, and then just has really liked it and worked hard, and now has built a team and has some really great people that help him. But then kind of started this construction project with this 55 and older community, and we broke ground last July. So
Where
we
is
just
that?
finished.
Where is that located?
Yeah, it's on the west side of town, kind of near. I'm trying to think, if you're on West Wabash, there's Dick Van Dyke Appliance Center. It's across that way. Westgate Drive is the drive that it's on. There's 10 buildings there. There's 2 units per, so there's 20 buildings total, and it's for 55 and older. So we've had we just finished construction on it 2 weeks ago. It's pretty much full, except for the building that we just completed, but I feel like Springfield has needed a community like that. We take care of all of the utilities, your water, your lawn care, your snow removal, so that then the people only really, have to manage, I guess, whatever they did for their cable and Wi-Fi. But, yeah.
But then you flip houses, too.
Yes. So I feel like Kyle's always got a flip project going. So that's where I enjoy, I think, coming in with a design. Yeah. So it's so fun to pick paint colors and tile and carpet and all that fun stuff. I love that part. It's so much fun.
You have a knack for it.
It's really
very,
fun.
very pretty.
And then I like to decorate it. And that part's really fun. So I do feel like a little hobby I get to do a little bit more now that Kyle's in the world that he's in. Allows me to have a little bit of fun. Yeah.
That is
and
fun.
I love that we have a Home Goods.
Yes, Home Goods.
That's changed my life.
It's funny because Sarah and I were talking about Home Goods yesterday. She was going, and I'm like, "What are you getting at Home Goods?" And she's like, "I don't know. What do you get at Home Goods?" I'm like, "Well,
everything.
You could get a dog bed, or you could get a new notepad. You can get any number of notepads.
It's wild.
Or you could get any throw pillow you could ever dream of.
I know, right?
Or a pot, a pan. Home Goods is the place to go. It's great.
So I go to Home Goods way too much.
I think these are from Home Goods. Yeah. I think these chairs might be from Home Goods.
I love it.
This is where, aren't they? Yes.
He's like, yes, they are. So
and these tables. These tables are from Home Goods. Yes, they are. Huh?
I know. We probably need them for this.
Probably.
But I do go there for everything.
Home Goods, you owe us some money, Home Goods. I think you do.
I know. I spend all mine there, I feel like. But yeah, so I do love that aspect of it. I do love the the design part and then the decorating part is just a lot of fun.
You know what we need here is a Kirkland's. Have you been to Kirkland's?
Yes,
They have one in Edwardsville, and it's similar to Home Goods. I feel like it's a little bit higher end, but it's
so nice.
And ever since Pier 1 left,
I know.
I liked Pier 1.
We don't want to lose good things, but
I know.
in Target, but I could go on about all that, but yeah.
Right. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for. You can help me talk about design. You can help me. Okay. So my husband and I just got new couches, and we got, instead of getting a wraparound for our family room, we got 2 full-size couches, and we need a round coffee table. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to find a solid wood, hardwood, just round
coffee table.
Well,
now I'll keep my eyes open.
Or wait, no, not round. I didn't want round. Sorry.
You want it to be square?
Square. That's what I wanted.
I'm gonna help you figure that out.
I said round.
That's a hard thing.
I said round.
Though.
I didn't want round. I wanted square.
I know, it's hard to find, and that's the problem with Home Goods. Is like if someone wants that too and they get it, then it's not like there's another one.
But it's impossible to find. Like impossible. Like even Pottery Barn. I looked on Pottery Barn, and they don't really have the right thing. Yeah.
I gotta see a picture. I can help you.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. So that's Matt's like, you put Emily on it. And we're not looking at like $5,000 coffee.
No, I'm not either. I'm on a Home
Goods.
I need
like a cheap.
Yeah,
want something. I want something kind of solid. Mm-hmm. But like we went into a couple stores, I'm not gonna say, and they have like, I feel like kindergartners designed them. They add chains to them, and they add like weird. Animal things. I'm like, I just need a square coffee table. Like maybe 3 foot by like a big one. Because I have
because I really am there
couches, like a hardwood coffee table. Not a rectangle, I'll need a square. I said round. Why did I say round, Jack? I meant, sorry, because it's that age, I'm starting to lose it.
Well, you think maybe you want a round, and then you realize that's not it either.
That's not it. I wanted a square. Yeah.
I'll think about that.
Okay. So anyway,
I know.
I digress. Sorry. It's because you design things and I like it.
It's fun though.
I like it.
It's so fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So, so where do you see yourself going in the real estate world? Do you see yourself going through this path more, or going back?
I know. It'll be interesting to see because I'm really kind of a behind the scenes girl there.
Do you have your real estate license?
No, that's what's interesting about it. I really don't do anything with that side of it. I'm more like the rental side of it.
Okay.
And like bookkeeper girl and social media and more that aspect of it. So I don't actually have anything to do with. I mean, obviously, I'm in the office and friends with everyone and that, but I don't really do anything in that side of it. It's more the rental side and the bookkeeping and the social media. So those other hats. So yeah, I think I'll do it for a while. I really am enjoying it. It's been it's using kind of a different side of my brain and it's
creative.
Yeah. So I like it. And the flexibility has been a little bit helpful with just the season that my kids are in life to be able to, I can work late hours and early mornings and that kind of thing to be able to go to a game at 3 p.m. where when you're seeing patients, it's really hard to have that kind of flexibility. So for now, it's good. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so let's talk about your kiddos. Tell me about Ellie and Case.
So I've got 2 kids. My daughter Ellie just turned 14.
I saw that.
Yeah, this weekend. I feel like it's kind of bittersweet.
In her class, I call them my babies because
they were your first
class,
crew.
And now I'm about to graduate them.
So she'll be in 8th grade this year, so I can't believe that. 1 more year and then high school. And then Case, we call him Case Man. He will start, it's junior high at our school is 6th grade. So he starts junior high here in a couple weeks. And he'll be 12 next month. So, they're just both great kids, but super active in sports. So it keeps us on our toes. I feel like we're always at a field or a court somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they are. They're both at a busy season of life.
Well, they're both excellent athletes, too.
It's fun. It's fun to see your kids find something that they enjoy doing, whatever that is. It's just fun to watch them, get excited about something and want to go practice something. And
it is. It's
it
so
really
fun.
Is. It's so cool. So cool. You know that as a mom, watching your kids and the things that they do.
Yes.
It's fun.
So, so I had Case this year, and I was witness to some of the challenges that he
Yes.
has had to go through.
Yes.
And I brought you here because I really wanted, it is something that the nation is talking about, right?
It
And
is.
which is weird that it's happening at the same time.
Yes, that's what, yes.
And so I wanted to bring you on because, as I said, I think Case has one of the biggest hearts of any of the kids that I've had. Like, I just adore him so much.
Thank you. Good guy.
And I love him so much. And so to watch him struggle with what he's been
Yes,
struggling
yes.
with is disheartening for me.
Yes.
But also, then it gives me a soft place for him. And I
for
wanted
sure.
you to come share a
Yeah.
little bit about Case's struggles and
Yeah.
if you were willing to, and you were. Because I think other people may not even realize.
I know. I think that's one of the things, and I know you and I have talked about it during the school year. Julie was really super instrumental in helping us kind of as we've figured out some things with him this year, was just super helpful in the classroom to try to help. But we, like, way back when Case was a little guy, I feel like we realized that he couldn't have certain medications. So, like, when you're really little and you can't have amoxicillin, that's, like, pretty normal. A lot of kids can't have that.
Right.
But as time went on, we just realized he couldn't have anything with red dye. And again, my speech path background, all of my kiddos, that was pretty common too. It's like a
Yes.
lot of kids I feel like that particular
Like
color
red
dye,
especially.
you've heard about that for a long time. So years ago, we kind of took that particular thing out of Case's diet just to help him, but didn't really think anymore.
And what kind of reactions did he have at that point?
Yeah,
with
so when
red
he
dye?
was little, we didn't totally understand, but like major behavior issues, running around, screaming, like,
It's almost a hyper thing.
yeah, like really hyper. So it'd be like, oh gosh, he's got an ear infection. He's going to have to be on that medicine again, you know? But not always totally realizing it was just dye related either, if that makes sense. Thinking it's a combination somehow of like medication and dye.
Right, because you would think that Benadryl, for instance, could make you hyper because
Yeah.
it's a stimulant.
Because some kids have the
'Cause
opposite reaction.
Some kids have the
Yes.
opposite reaction. Some kids, it doesn't make them tired. Sometimes
Yes.
it makes them hyper.
And he was that way with Benadryl actually too, but all Benadryls are red.
Exactly.
So, but I can remember as a little guy, and I think I have shared this with you maybe last year too, but even as a little guy, I can remember going down the street and he would be having some kind of episode, kind of in my mind, out of nowhere, and he would try to get out of the car, like try to open the door of the car and like jump out of a moving car, which is terrifying for your kid to do. So fast forward over the last so that's a little guy. So now if I just told you he's almost 12, it's like over the last probably 4 years, it's like he would be having these like outbursts kind of out of nowhere. It's like he's totally fine, behavior's totally fine, and then something kind of snaps and it's like, what's the matter? I mean, I hate to talk negatively about him, but now I feel like we're on the other side of it, so it's okay. But I mean, he's like broken floor to ceiling window before, or like our drywall if he'd get mad. So I'm like, we have a behavior situation here, essentially. And so I'm talking to our pediatrician and I'm like, we need to get him into a behavior specialist. Like, if he's got something going on, we need to help him with this. And so I would say for the last really 5 years between neurology, psychiatry, psychology, our pediatrician, we took him to the allergist. I mean, you're like taking him to all these people and they're running all these tests on him and they're like, your kid's fine, you know? And I'm like, he's not. You know, there's something more going on. But it was such a roller coaster of behavior. And so it's just hard. It was hard for me to talk about until I guess I figured it out. Because in your mind as a parent, I think you feel like I'm doing something wrong, that my kid has such a behavior issue. But yet he didn't have it all the time. I think that was what was so weird about it.
And as his teacher, I understand that.
Yeah,
Because
you can see the difference now.
100%.
So it's like he's just kind of
it's
this
night and day.
typical like kid going
Like,
along, happy,
everything's totally
funny,
fine, and
then
yes,
something occurs. So
yes.
the really long story short of it was we had, even at the end of last year, I can remember around Christmas time, we were just really struggling. And again, you wait for so long for some of these appointments, neurology and whatever, because I'm like, gosh, does he have like a brain tumor or something, or some kind of psychological disorder that's kind of causing all the inconsistencies? And so one of the things that Kyle and I decided to do was just really help him with his diet, because as you're reading, you're like, maybe, there's something that would just help him. So we kind of just took everything out of his diet that you could buy. We were making everything like just kind of your typical fruits, vegetables, all of that. And the conclusion now that we finally come to after all of this time is that he cannot have any artificial numbered dyes. So red 40, yellow, blue, green, none of it. I think the two that took us the longest to figure out, though, is that he can't have any kind of caramel color, which is in everything. I mean, you look at Coke, and it's the second ingredient in Coke. But he can't have sodium nitrates either, which I also think is interesting, because that's one of the things, like when you're pregnant, you can't have, because it's like in lunch meat and stuff. But it's in everything.
And remind me, okay, the sodium nitrates, it's in lunch meat.
Yeah,
and
chicken,
what else?
like so if you went to a restaurant right now, most of the time, just because of the nature of them needing to preserve it, it has sodium nitrates in it, because it's kind of a way to preserve.
Okay.
So it's hard. Like if you go to a restaurant, he really can't usually have a hamburger or chicken or all of that stuff because of how it's preserved. Now, we have found now in Springfield, you can go places, the whole entire deli at Harvest Market, Aldi, Target, all have brands that do not have sodium nitrates in them. But that was probably the hardest one to figure out. But because we had literally taken him down to basically nothing and kind of worked everything back in, we were able to figure it out. But even to this day, I mean, if he has that exposure, he does have a behavioral reaction, which is hard for us. But at least now we know what the problem is.
But no doctors helped you in that?
Right. I think that's what's the hardest part is it. Now, we have an amazing pediatrician, and she's always like been on our team on board trying to be helpful and like believes everything that I say and has tried to get us connected to the right people. But yeah, it's such an interesting time, though, that there are so many dyes that they're trying to take out of products in the United States, which we're super grateful for, because in other countries, it's like if we're traveling or we're somewhere else, usually Case can have everything there because it's not made with those dyes. And in other countries, it's like it could be the exact same box, and in the United States, it's got all of these ingredients, all the dyes, and in another country, it's the same exact thing, but it's all natural. And it's like, gosh, isn't that wild? So you have a way to make it correctly. It's just cheaper for them to make it with all the artificial stuff, or it maybe makes it look a little bit brighter or prettier. But it is hard. But I do think there's probably a lot of parents out there that, gave their kid a blue Gatorade, or even that for a while, we just didn't give him red stuff, not realizing it was every color. So it's like we gave him the blue Gatorade instead. And in retrospect, it makes so much sense to me now. It's like, gosh, how did I not realize that was the problem? Because it's like he ingested it and then had the reaction. But now I know. But at the time, it's like, think of all these kids at all these sporting events. Their parents give them a Gatorade or, you name the energy drink. I'm not trying to put them under the bus, but it's like, and then they have this behavioral response. And for some kids, it's probably minimal. Not everybody is obviously going to have it to the extent that Case does, but some of them probably do, and their parents don't know.
Who would think of lunch meats and, things like that?
Yes. And now realizing even like with school stuff, and now he just packs his lunch for school every day, but he'd have something at lunch and then the afternoon would be a problem. Well, now that makes sense. Even for other kids. It's like they go to lunch and then there's some of these behaviors for kids in the afternoon. Well, it's likely something that they ate. For Case, it certainly is. It's hard, though.
I think one
it's
of the
so
most
hard.
fascinating days for you, maybe, and for me at school was the day that we could not figure out. I was like, I texted him like, Emily, something's going on.
I know what you're gonna say. Yes.
I have no idea. I don't know. Like, something. He says he didn't eat anything this morning. You're like, I can't figure out what it is.
Yes.
Whatever. We realized he had used my Bath & Body, not Bath & Body, sorry. I mean, it was Bath & Body, but it could have been any. Yeah. It was lotion.
Yes.
He'd used my lotion.
And that's when that component of it, that was new that we what so that he
what
couldn't
in
have,
the world?
He can't use like your dish soap that has blue dye in it, or, it's just all so wild to me. It doesn't even sound real, even to me now, but it's like he can't even have it on his skin outside either.
Because
So
it absorbs into
yes,
his system.
and then he can have a behavioral reaction that way too. I just think there's so many kids though who likely have this issue.
Absolutely.
There's an organization and they're called To Die For, DYE, Food Die, and they are a family but have put together this movement to try to help families have awareness of the problem that dyes are causing their kids, and they don't even know it. And there's so many kids who are getting misdiagnosed, kind of like Case, of like they just gave him an anxiety like diagnosis because they're like, well, he's got something, but we don't really know what to call it,
right,
you know?
Right.
Well, I would have anxiety too if I put something in my mouth and it made me feel weird too,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
So whether that's the appropriate diagnosis for him or not now, I don't really know. But even doctors and professionals, though they're great and trying to be helpful, it is kind of an oddity. People just aren't aware and realizing, you know, how much it's impacting. So it's certainly changed our whole entire lives in the last year to figure it out. And we're still learning. You know, there's times where I'm like, gosh, is there more that we just don't know? But now he'll go days and days in a row and not have any problem. But there are times it's like he's a kid. It's like the unfortunate thing is that he was older when we figured it out. So it's like he knows what Dr. Pepper and Coke and all those yummy things taste like. He loves nerd clusters, and so do I.
Right.
Like, but it's like, and to look at it, it's like it's all dyes, you know.
Right.
And so it's like if it does that to him, what is it doing to us?
Are there
You know?
specialists in the United States that are aware of this? Have you looked?
Yeah. I'm in all these groups now, like through social media, Facebook, Instagram. That, but it's more a holistic approach type people.
Okay.
In fact, I'm trying to look through some stuff now because there are some people not too far, like hour and a half or so away from us that we could take him to. But you almost feel like I feel like he's gone through the ringer, so to
You feel
speak.
like you're
But
done
he's
it.
like he's finally like in a good place. But I do feel like there are people that, you know, figuring out more things for him might help somebody else, you know. But yeah, there are like food sensitivity tests and that kind of thing. And I would say mainstream medical professionals are kind of like, it's a little bit hocus pocus, you know. But now, after what we've been through, it's like I would try about anything that was on the natural.
Well,
And I'm not a natural like person, like we go to McDonald's,
right.
you know. But
Right.
it has really changed my thought process and my mindset a lot after what he's been through.
Well, and I've said to like my family and some people around me, like I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
I know. It sounds so weird when I
wouldn't
explain it to
believe
people.
if I didn't have Case and I
Yes.
wasn't with him all
Yes.
the time.
Because
And
you'd call on the phone and you're like, Emily, he definitely has had something. Like, I can see the change. I can see the turn.
yes,
You know?
because it is incredible. And then when his awareness comes about
Oh,
that he's had it and that
Yes.
he has struggled,
yes.
it disheartens him.
Yes.
It upsets him so
Because some of the things, that's
badly.
interesting that you say that, because some of the times it's like he doesn't totally remember the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say behavior, but I mean, behavior can look a few ways for him. It
Right.
can look like he's actually
Right.
doing something like damaging like property, so to speak, but he also says things that are
Mm-hmm. Says-
inappropriate.
says things kind of.
And that he would never normally say.
No.
And so when we say back to him, you know, what maybe he said to another person or whatever, he's like mortified.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like mortified that he
Yes.
would say that. So
Yes.
it's interesting how it alters the brain. And I think
Yes.
that's the piece that I wish I could find someone that could explain to us what's happening.
Right.
Because it's almost like we always say he has an allergy to dye. That's not the right word. There just isn't a word for it. But if you think, you know, somebody has an allergy and you can actually see the bumps and you give them the Benadryl, the bumps go away because of that swelling. But for him, it's almost like I picture it like his brain has that swelling, you know, and then he does something inappropriate behaviorally or says something or whatever, and then he does have a medication that he's able to take now, you know, that you know. So if he has that within a half an hour, then it's almost like that swelling is reduced. His brain
Yep.
kind of goes,
Yep.
you know, back. He's level-headed again, and he's himself.
Right.
But it is, you can see why,
I
though,
can
as a
almost
kid, how
see it in
confusing
his-
it was for me.
I can almost see his
Like,
in his eyes when he is
his eyes look different. They kind of
Yes.
go like dark,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
and you're like,
he's mad at me, and he's mad at this situation,
and he can't be reasoned with. I
Can't be
think that's the
reasoned
thing
with.
that's hard, and the people that he loves the most, you know.
yes, like he was so angry with me one day, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. So
And then-
it's been hard because it's like even, you know, trying to like discipline him over these last few years, it's like we didn't, you know, there's time you can't behave a certain ways. You can't say certain things. And we didn't realize
Yeah.
what the trigger actually was.
right,
So
right.
we're relieved in that sense too, because that's just hard, you know.
The good news is he is 12 years old. He does understand that, and he doesn't want to be like that.
Yes.
And so he is mature enough to be like, yeah, I can't eat that.
Yes. So
You
that's
know?
been helpful. He really has, I mean, it's not always perfect, but for the most part, I completely agree. He really tries hard
You
to
know, or,
have the right
I can't
thing.
have that lotion, or we'll even
Which is
tell.
so wild.
This is hard. I can't use your lotion. Sorry.
know.
Like,
What's hard though is that it is in about anything though. So like even a clear like hand sanitizer, there's times it's got something in it.
right, because he brought his own hand sanitizer. He's like, I need to use this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I had no idea. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
strange
weird.
that the clear
Well,
one.
like marshmallows are white, right? They
Right.
have blue one dye in them. Why? You know, a marshmallow. You're like, a marshmallow's safe. It doesn't have any dyes.
Right.
Most marshmallows do. I mean, it's little things like that, like finding a white. You think like we made him a white cake with white icing. You think it's fine, but it's
No.
got red 40 in it. You're like, how does the white cake with white icing ever? But I do hope that, I mean, as I tell people kind of his story, there are people that are kind of like, gosh, you know, my kid, you know, acts such a way or whatever. We may try to reduce that intake for them as well. And it's like, gosh, I think all of us.
I think everybody needs to on some level.
Yeah,
right?
we
I
just
think
don't have
it's
the
good
same
for
outward
us.
response.
Yes, and
But it's like internally, it can't be healthy
can't
for
be
us.
good for us,
You know, he just
right.
happens to have a really extreme
exactly.
reaction. But I do think there's a lot of parents out there who are probably frustrated like we have been and just searching and sad and hating to see their kid in this place. And
Yeah.
I think this is likely the answer for a lot of people. And we're certainly, you know, we don't know all the answers. We're still learning too. But there are people out there who are absolutely going through the same thing. That's what's so interesting and helpful about social media is you can find these groups. I don't know anybody personally that's like him in that, like personally. But on my groups, there's kids all the time.
Isn't that interesting?
It's so wild. So
I
wild.
can kind of relate it just because I have celiac. I can kind of relate
yeah.
it to that in that people will say, well, I mean, I kind of don't feel good after eating this, that, and the other fried foods or this, that, and the other, but I'm sure I don't have celiac. Well, maybe you don't, but you probably do have a sensitivity to the amount of gluten that America puts in their food that we didn't 150 years ago.
Yes. Yes.
Like we
Same
didn't,
thing.
we didn't produce our wheat the same way that we do today, and so our bodies can't tolerate the amount of gluten that's in our food that wasn't there
Before.
because
yeah.
the way that we produce our wheat today versus how we did 150
You're probably
years
better
ago.
when you're out of the United States too.
Absolutely.
it's-
I've heard, I haven't done it yet, but I've heard that like you can go to Italy and eat the pastas there, no problem. Because they're made with the wheat that is not done in the tight bundles that we do now to
So interesting.
make it more profitable and easy, you know, and
That's so interesting.
but that has like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times more gluten than the wheat that we produced.
Gosh, that's so interesting, isn't it?
times
But yeah, you
And our
experience the
bodies
same
don't know how to
thing.
how to
Process
handle
it. No, they don't. It's so interesting though. But it is hard. It's definitely been a long road, but I'm grateful that we have some answers now and that maybe we can help other people to try to help their kids too.
Yes,
You know.
I hope that by even saying this, by even having you out there, that somebody will listen and hear and be like, oh yeah, I could probably look into that more.
Yeah.
Or I should probably be concerned more about that. Even Matt and I say, like, for our grandkids, we want to think about that with, you know, things or treats that we have for them.
Yes.
Like, be more aware
And
of it.
now that I'm searching for it, you really can find some great alternatives.
Yes.
You know, you're just so used to whatever the mainstream thing
Exactly.
is. But now that, and really now, just since some legislation has been passed this year, you're already seeing some changes.
Definitely seeing some changes
in the grocery store. So like Doritos, for instance, is all like they're red 40. I mean, they look like they are, right? But now they came out with a Simply brand just in the last few months that we've been buying this summer. And so you can get all of that line of Doritos and Cheetos and Cool Ranch, and none of them have dyes or additives. I know, right?
See?
So he's excited. It's like, oh, it's like something like I used to eat, you know?
Absolutely. And I will say, for what it's worth, I was diagnosed with celiac 13 years ago, and there was nothing gluten-free. And look how much stuff there is today.
Has changed, truly,
so
though.
There you go.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's amazing. You think it's going to be a long time coming, but it won't.
Because people are like, are you going to grow out of it? And probably even like what you're experiencing, likely no.
Probably not.
You know, you're not.
No.
I don't think he probably is.
No.
I mean, I'm going into it.
No, but I can tell him he'll just get used to it. It'll just be part of his life.
Yes.
It's just part of his life story, and it is what it is.
And he'll just have to look at labels and figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And I hope it's better. I hope 10 years from now, he's not having to deal with it like he is today because we've pulled so much off the shelves.
Yes.
I'm amazed at what's happened in 6 months.
Exactly.
And again, we just aren't those people that were like natural,
right.
whatever.
No,
and now all of a sudden I'm like
that.
into
what
this.
What does Ellie think about it all? What does Ellie think?
She has like stashes in her. Don't listen to this case, but she has like stashes in her room of like things. But we don't want her to eat it either.
Right.
But she'll be like, oh, I've got some nerd clusters in my room.
That's good.
But I mean, some of this stuff is like sad. Like he loved like the crumble cookies when they came out. And it's like every week there's a new drop or whatever.
Well, for what it's worth, I'd give anything to have a crumble cookie, and there's no such thing as a gluten-free crumble cookie. So
she handles it well, but she's like, why can't we have Dr. Pepper in the house? Why can't we, you know? And I'm like, well, I don't know. You just feel bad for him if you have all that stuff out there and he can't have it. So we try to have most of the stuff in the house as stuff that he can have.
Yeah.
But she has her little stashes sometimes. All the other, I'm like, Ellie. She's like, well, I'm like, oh, keep it up here. It's safe.
Yeah.
She's gonna have to have a new hiding spot.
Well, I only have one child with celiac and 2 that don't, so I get it. They, they'll eat a donut.
They want to eat what they want to eat.
They'll eat a donut. My other one will be like, fine, just eat the donut.
I know. I wish his response wasn't behavioral sometimes. Yes, I know. I know. That's the hard part is that because you haven't had the diagnosis your whole life either, is that you're like him and that you've eaten all the things.
I know what a mellow cream
You know how good that
tastes,
right? I know
what a mellow cream tastes like.
That sounds good right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
I'd be so sick if I ate a mellow cream right now. I'd love it. I'd love it going down, but
no, I would not like you.
No.
So you understand.
Yes.
But I do hope, though, as time goes on for him and just the more awareness that's out there, that there are changes that are made. And obviously, we've had to make them in our own home, but I just hope it gets easier for him to be able to find stuff, buy stuff, eat stuff.
Yes.
Because it is scary. It's one thing as a kid to have this issue, and we can kind of manage him. But as an adult, that's scary. You don't. Sometimes you're like, gosh, are there other people, like obviously adults going around and this is the problem that they're having and nobody realizes it? Right. Yeah. Right. It's scary. It is scary, but I feel like we're in a good place and I have so much relief to now know what it was.
Fortunate to have such loving parents that have fought for him and sought out answers for him. He's so lucky.
Oh, well,
fortunate.
You know how it is as a parent. It's like you do anything to try to help your kid. It's like to the ends of the earth. It's like, we're just going to figure this out for you. And it's taken, I think that's the piece where I feel so much guilt or sadness or whatever. It's like the kid's almost 12 years old. It's like it took us this long to figure it out. Yeah, but
that was a tough one.
Like that was, it's not like mainstream.
Who would have guessed that? Who would have guessed that?
Poor guy. But now we know. So
yeah. Well, he's a blessing. I love him to death.
Well, we're sure grateful for you and for all that you did for him this school year in particular.
I don't know that I did much, but
I love him. It was helpful.
So I love him.
So helpful. Thank you.
Well, I so appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Your story.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe you'll come on again and share something else with us.
Right?
Share some other wonderful wisdom that you have.
I love it. Thanks for having me, Julie. I appreciate it. This is fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, bye.
One day you're gonna be a dream catcher. One day you're gonna be a dream catcher. So right now, go on and dream, dreamer.